Etteeka ery'ebikajjo libadde terisobola kuteekebwa mu nkola naddala nga fomula tekola. Era tukkaanyizza ku fomula ebaddemu ebintu bibiri ng'omulimi alina eddoboozi ddala ku eryo erya miira bannannyini byuma. Muno mwe mubadde recovery ng'omulimi ayagala ebeere ku 10, miira ayagala ebeere ku 8, tukkaanyizza 9. Kitegeeza nti omulimi awo afunyeemu. Ku kya percentage, miira ayagadde tukozese percentage ya 40, era ng'atugamba nti World Bank yakola research n'eraba nga 40 yeetuukaana. Omulimi yayagadde 60, agamba nti miira bingi byajja mu bikajjo, mwe muli waragi, mwe muli buswiti, eriyo n'abajjamu amasannyalaze, abajjamu bagaasi, abajjamu ebijimusa, kati ng'ayagala afunemu kumpi ku biri ebirala, era percentage webeera 60 kiba kimukolera. Tukkaanyizza ne tugaana 40 ne tugamba nti kebeere 55. Miira n'akaaba n'agamba nti kyetaaga tumuwemu emyaka 2 yeetereeze abe nga kimwanguyira okusasula ku 55. So miira ajja tandikira ku 50, mu myaka 2 automatically etteeka tujja dikola libeera automatic nga teri kuddamu kutuula ku mmeeza kaaba maziga, nti mu myaka 2 automatically gundi percentage ebeera 55. Awalala omulimi wawangulidde awuye council egenda okusalawo n'okutambuza omulimu ogw'ebikajjo, nti omulimi alina eddoboozi lya waggulu ku miira. Miira alina ba representatives 3, omulimi afunye 4. So ebirowoozo ebikolebwa eyo biba nga byakuwanika mikono, olabira ddala nti omulimi ajja kuba n'enkizo. So kuno kwe kukkaanya kwe tutuuseeko, era nga bye twogedde wano bwe tugenda obitwala mu tteeka awatali kukyusaamu, awatali kusikamu oba kuggyamu. So tulabira ddala nti etteeka lino omulimi alisitudde lirye era ligenda kugasa omulimi. Eno 9% recovery gitwale nga oututani gwamanyiridde ebyakasooli, nti bw'oleeta kilo 10 ez'akasooli ojjamu kilo 55 ez'akawunga. Ne tugamba nti oututani eri 55%. Kakati eno tuligamba 9%, nti bw'oleeta ttaani 9 ez'ebikajjo ogenda kuggyamu ttaani emu eya sukaali. Kakati ekyo tetujja kubeera na space ow'ekyuma kugamba nti oleese ebikajjo bito tebirimu sukaali amala onyingidde, ekyo tekijja kubaawo.
My name, I'm a sugarcane farmer, growing sugarcane in Masindi. I've done that for the last close to 30 years. Yep.
So for this meeting, are you satisfied with the outcome?
I should say generally yes. The chairman was quite effective, and he was able to find solutions amicably and swiftly, because that's what has been failing in the past. Because millers have got their own interests and outgrowers have also their own interests, and the two parties have for long been unable to agree. This time round, there has been kind of a positive approach where both parties seem to be accepting what is on the table. I must say that the outgrowers are not completely satisfied because, you know, in Uganda, the way we look at sugarcane is not the right perspective, because sugarcane is the source of sugar, and sugar is grown by the farmer. Why do I say that? Because sugar is made from sugarcane, and the miller does only the processing. So basically sugar is made in the plantation, not in the mill. It is for that reason that you see in other countries, a farmer is more recognized than the processor, because without the foundation, the processor is meaningless. For some reasons I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, sugar is made in the plantation and it's the farmer who is responsible for making the sugar. So it is for him to make sure that he is paid the right amount for his sweat. Here, the farmer, the last 100 years since sugarcane was introduced in the country, he has been underpaid. Compare our prices with what other farmers are paid in other countries. We get the lowest in the world. And we're not happy. Even now, what we have achieved in today's meeting is only a drop in the ocean. Our demand should be higher. But for the sake of continuity, we have to allow this. After all, this is a give and take situation. And as you well know that a compromise is a situation where nobody wanted to be. Neither party wanted to be in either position. So, but we have reached a compromise. And reason we are depending on each other. It is a symbiotic relationship. The farmer cannot survive without the miller, and vice versa. But the miller should not continue bullying the farmer. There is still a lot of bullying in the sugar industry. Farmers bully. That's the right word. They bully, the millers bully the farmers, and that is unfair because the farmers have got very low noise. They don't have the capacity, and they are more or less incapacitated. They don't have the money. The millers have the money. So basically, that is the situation.
Thank you so much.
And how it is going up and coming down. However, the World Bank also recommended 40%. We are not there. We moved to 50% for inclusive of all other value additions. Again, we are moving up. The other factories, they are not making, it is a climate and a weather pattern, cane age and maturity, everything contributes the sugar rendement. Yes, we do get slightly higher rendement compared to other industry. As my brothers and sisters who is there in the farmers, they should not expect this also coming to pull up from 8 to 9, and this also already we jacked from 40 to 50, again 55, again 60, both sides it is going to give us a lot of problems. So that's the reason we discussed, agreed 8% rendement, and the percentage not yet agreed, sir, actually. That's what we stopped. Yeah. Thank you, sir. I submit.
You see, Manager Kinyara, I told you that here what we are doing here is to smoothen the process on the floor. I also want to come out of here with something which can be defendable. These colleagues of mine, I know what they go through, okay? Like I told you, it will be difficult on recovery if someone tables the report of the World Bank, especially with 1%. Of course, when you go to monetary terms, it's huge, but you know, it's a little bit, it's a little bit close, okay?
But currently there is no factory in Busoga region getting more than 8%. They are all below them. So
yeah.
8.
Yeah. So we are putting.
So we can't really make whole. We can't. Really
Chinyara, your recovery, you're doing at what?
Because of climate change, the cane is different.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
No, hey, please. No one accesses a microphone without my permission. Here we are disciplined, boss. Okay. Yeah. No, for you first put down your arm because I just want to listen to the mirrors first. I wanted to first get from the mirrors. Moses, from government now.
Mr. Chairman, of course of the recovery, I think you are coming to a conclusion.
As chairman speaks, let me talk to the chairman of mirrors.
On the 50%,
Chairman
I think
Mirrors.
Kangwa had asked a question. At the moment, what does it mean at the current pricing? Because the talk of percentage, here we share in cash. How much? Is it 100,000 at the moment? What would the 50% be? Then we get a starting point. Because we have percentages, it could be. So my issue is, at the moment, for instance, me who is selling to Lugazi, what does 50% mean in terms of money? Mfuna sente meka per ton. If somebody is selling to Kinyara, what does 50% today mean? Because we farmers don't sell in percentages. We sell in prices. Then that one will give us a formula. Let's say, if my input is this, to produce 1 ton or produce in an acre, if I get, I look after my cane very well and get 35 tons or 40 tons from an acre, at this price, I will get this, and my input will be this, will be the profitability. But we are here on percentage. Me, I'm lost. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'm not happy so much. So, and I usually want to come out of the room when both groups are happy. Otherwise, we can go, we make a row, you go, you celebrate. These people close down the factory if they don't work. No. The biggest factories in the world have closed down in a minute. Okay? In a minute. So I want us to come here when we are all happy. Isn't it important? It's important. I don't want one side to go out feeling they've won and the other side has lost. So there is a proposal which came from that gentleman. But Honorable Idi first. Chairman Busoga.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A certain discussion. Mr. Moses Vyarohanga raised an important issue that need to be answered. Because what does 50% mean for a ton now? Because this can help us from our side and the side of farmers. Because we are talking in percentages, can we be helped for them to...
Can the commissioner...
The millers, I think, can explain. Can you explain that? The 50%?
No, commissioner.
Or commissioner, can you?
Yes.
Dennis,
Commissioner Dennis should have details of the 50%.
Then takes care of the benefits that will accrue when one sells the byproducts. But I wanted to request one of my millers to give an elaborate explanation and comes to at least the price that is being offered now.
Okay, who are you asking?
I'm requesting Mr. Mobiru.
After removing excess duty and VAT, 50% sharing at 9% rendement, it comes to 129,676 shilling. If it is an 8%, 115,267 shilling. 14,000 variation is there for 1% rendement variation as per current selling price of Kinyara. I stop, sir.
Is that
82,000 per bag? If we put at 50% and rendement at 9, a bag minimum will cost 129 per ton. And at 8% it will be 115. So that's the difference.
at 9% will be how much?
129.
And then 129. And then at 8?
115.
115. Okay. But then we are also asking about the 50%. Moses asked about the 50%.
It's calculated, sir.
Okay.
This is what I wanted it in monetary terms. And also, I want us to look at also a bigger picture. Uganda is not producing sugar for only Uganda. If you are producing sugar for only Uganda, you can sell at any price. But if we are producing sugar for also export. We should bear that in mind. Because today, the international price of a ton of sugar landed at Mombasa is about $500 per ton. So the question I wanted to go to, Mr. Chair, is if you turn at 80%, how many tons of cane, raw cane, do you need to make 1 ton of sugar, of brown sugar? It's about 111. I mean, about 11,000. It's calculated. At 8%, it's 11,000. How many?
It's 8% is 12.5 tons of sugarcane makes 1 ton sugar, sir.
How many tons?
12.5 metric ton of sugarcane makes at 8% rendement 1 ton of sugar.
And how much is that in monetary terms, in Ugandan shilling? Mr. Chair, I want us to look at international price as well.
$440,000 shillings, sir.
1 million?
440,000 shillings.
440.
Yes, sir.
Turn that into dollars.
It comes to $385.
$385.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Chair, what I was driving at is that if our production cost,
this is only raw material cost.
The cost of cane, which makes 1 ton of brown sugar, is at $385, and the international price of a finished raw sugar from Brazil reaches Mombasa at $500 per ton. The difference here is $100 and what? $115? $115. That would mean that the production and so forth. So, as we try to set these prices, we should, unless you're saying Uganda just produce for your own market, which is about 300,000 tons consumption, not so. But we are producing about 700,000 tons, and we're expanding. So if you are going to overprice your sugar cane, where will you put the sugar when you produce it?
I have also the current prices of sugar cane for East Africa, where we export.
Let me finish.
Rwanda is $28 US.
Wait, she hasn't given you permission, Mr. Kado, unless you're taking over the powers of the chair. So, I want to ask Mr. Chairman to be mindful. Yes, as a farmer, I want as much money from a ton of cane. As a miller, they also want to get profit. But if Uganda's consumption of sugar is 300,000 tons of sugar, and we are producing about 7,000 tons, meaning the excess sugar must be exported, then our pricing must put into account the international market. Yes, here we are under ESC, we are exporting in the region. Fine. But why should we subject our members in the ESC to buy expensive sugar where they could have bought cheaper sugar from outside? So we must be competitive in the international market. That's the point I want to raise, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Yes, Masindi.
Having a statement where he said that the government should also treat the small millers the way it treats the bigger millers, so that it allows them, because that is what the co-chair said, meaning that they want assurance from government, as the minister takes it on, that in the situation of evacuation and the production, they will have the same treatment, because they wanted to mean that there is some more favor somewhere for bigger millers.
Okay. Chair, on that particular one of power, is that what we are Meaning?
Especially power.
Power.
That's what you said.
There should be fairness.
Yeah.
And I will take it up with the Minister of Energy to ensure that that can be discussed. And I don't have the details why they would segregate, give more price to a person who produces more and less to a person who produces less. So I want to study that, Chair, and then I can have a meeting with them, with the Minister of Energy, so that we harmonize it.
Yeah, but that one we can assure you, because I don't think there is any sugar industry that has said we want to start producing power, and government has said we can't buy your power. Yeah, I would want to.
Yeah, we already applied for PPA. I think we are fighting for PPA from last 2 years. Okay, we have not got yet.
Okay.
No, I think you wanted us to assure, the Speaker says, we will assure you if you produce power, because we don't have enough power, though we appear to be having excess power, but actually we need more power as a country. So I don't think there's a problem with that. I'll take that matter. I was not informed about that issue, but now that I've been informed, I can take it up. Chair, we are trying to build consensus because we need this council to start operating so that the sugar industry can get organized, and the both parties, the farmers and the millers, to come on the same page in a consensus manner. And it has been a give and take. And the millers' suggestion of a minimum of, rather a period, a grace period of 3 years, I don't think it has a problem, in my opinion, because they need to do some investment. They need to then the council will be put in place, will be starting to work, and if we find that actually we have made a lot of progress, even the 3 years we can change it. So we can give it for now, but if we find that we have met all the standards, there's no need of us going up to 3 years if everything has been done. But for now, we can give it to them.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Right Honorable, I didn't get you right. Are you saying that 55 to apply should take 3 years? That's what you are suggesting?
Yeah, okay. Their argument is,
yes.
Okay?
Yes.
They are saying that, look, the 50, we are more or less close on the 55.
I understand.
But when it starts applying, it's where we are having an issue.
No.
I had proposed 2 years as a mediator, and listen to me, okay? But the person who will have a burden of realizing this, okay, is saying, to be honest, I think 3 years I can struggle, I put it. And he has given you an example that has been looking for a power purchase agreement for the last 2 years. And yet, immediately after the period we've agreed, the law would, the formula, okay, of 55 would start applying. We can agree the one of recovery, okay, the one of recovery can start right away. My brother, let me tell you, you're not in this for short term. We are not making a law today or tomorrow. We are making a long-term kind of law. Now, if I made a law, I give someone 2 years to have invested in this, because you're not giving him capital, he will go and mobilize his capital. He's the one who is going to mobilize all this, okay? But I'm putting an obligation on him that you must do it in this period. If you don't, the formula will affect you negatively. So go work hard. So let's try to be flexible. Let's try to be. You, boss, Sebo, we are the ones who make the law. It's not you. For you to, because I'm seeing you're the one who is trying to be stubborn here. No, listen to me. We are the ones going to make the law. Here we are consulting you. So we are going back in our chambers. Whatever we agreed upon here, we might refuse it in the chamber. So if I don't want, number two, you should know, this law will be signed by the president. If the man goes to the president and says, you have put an obligation on me of investing $20 million in 2 years. Help us, give us that money in UBB, and government doesn't have it. What will you do? He will go down. So let's try to be flexible on each other, especially where we are putting an obligation on the other. We have managed to achieve the one of recovery. We have achieved. Okay? And I can tell you that one on the floor, it will pass. I have my colleagues here. We have managed to sort for you the issue of the council. Okay? Whereby you're going to get one more compared to the mirrors. Because I want your colleagues to understand what we have achieved. Okay? One more compared to the mirrors. Okay? We have said now we don't want a win-lose. We want to come out of this room when we have a win-win. So on the price, from 60 to 55, from 55, from 50 to 55. And then someone says, yes, but you're putting an obligation on me to invest. So instead of 2 years, let us do 3 years grace period. You give me 3 years, I should have invested. If I don't invest, that price, that cost will be put on me. I'll pick from my proceeds to pay the mirror, whether I've invested or not. Honorable Batua? Oh, no. I had allowed some gentleman with a mask. Sorry. I've sat on him for long.
Okay.
Sorry.
Progress made so far. The 9% recovery, it's okay to start with that. We appreciate that. The 55% has been a humble cry for the meetings I've been sharing with the millers, and I've been going back consulting, but we thank you so much that we have deliberated on this. EPRC recently concluded a research and also recommended that they should consider they proposed 3 products to be considered for a start. That was sugar, molasses, and bagasse for a start. And Chair, I want to assure you that Uganda is not an isolated island. In Tanzania, our neighbors here are using this formula, and the growers are getting 60% of the sugar and molasses, just our friends here in Tanzania. And excess of the quality of sugar in your sugar cane, you still get a bonus out of that. So, moving forward, may the millers help us sustain this. We are looking for co-survival as growers and millers. Last year, growers went to the strike, you're very much aware. The main factor was the cost of production of a grower. And as Mr. Yohanga has been mentioning that we need to be considerate on the international standards and so on. We need to be considerate on the cost of production, the international standards, how do we both of us survive? We had a meeting with our millers call last year. And they all agree that, sincerely speaking, the minimum price should be, if it comes around 170, the growers can survive. Currently, as they have given the formula, with the current price, no grower is break-even. As growers, as we speak today, no grower is break-even. Someone asked us in URA, how are you surviving? We are surviving on hope. We expect things to get better. Now that the government is taking concern, saying that we consider A, B, C, D. So we pray that the millers are doing this business. We are willing, as Lugaza saying, the most vulnerable area. So I want to inform you that the recovery of 9% is even achievable within the place they are saying that is most vulnerable in terms of recovery. Honorable Minister Baprog had promised that immediately after, EPRC is going to undertake an independent research on the recovery of sugarcane in the various areas. So we pray on this. We pray that this takes effect. The 2 years, they are talking about the 3 years. We feel, as growers, we have even promised that the byproducts, we are saying they have no mark. The growers are willing to take them. So those who have no value addition, value chains for the other products, the molasses, the bagasse, the press mud, Chair, we want to assure you that the growers have better value. Some of them are cattle, they are keeping cattle. Molasses is very good for cattle keeping. the bagasse, it will even save on the forests.
But sir, you're taking us far.
Yes,
You're
sir.
the ones doing yourselves.
Yes, sir.
And that's why we want to conclude here.
Yes, sir.
So that we go next week, we'll give you a roll, okay? You start earning. Otherwise, the more we delay, the more we don't conclude, the more you will remain crying the way you are crying.
So we are very appreciated for the two variables.
Yes.
We are good to go to start with those ones, sir. The
Yes.
9%, 55% across, so it's okay with us, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had allowed Honorable Batua.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. You allow me to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Batua Timothy Lusala, Member of Parliament, Jinja West constituency. And in Parliament, I'm also the Shadow Minister of Health. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for the great effort you've done in enabling us get to consensus. Because sugarcane, the way I understand it, is more of a political crop than an economical one. However, I seek clarification. You've handled R, you've handled D, which is the percentage in the formula. But there is one variable, which I think is even the most important, that collapsed this formula as it appears in the law. That is variable C. It talks of the weight in tons of sugarcane. When we talked of weight, I think that's where the formula collapsed to give us the right price. Has this been changed? And it has been changed to what? So that I come up with the second question.
Is this covered under recovery? Dennis.
Right, Honorable, that is changed. We have moved to use PS, which talks about the average price of raw sugar per ton.
Sugar per ton. Now, price varies because we want to make a good law. Which price? Factory price, wholesale price, retail price. We should be very clear. Number one. Number two, price is determined by forces of demand and supply. You get it? How shall we arrive at a uniform price? Should we give the powers to the council to state the price? Because this is the most important step in the formula. The moment it's right, the other things are subjective. The 9% is subjective to this. Okay, you just subject it to this. You just multiply the 9% to the price you've determined.
Okay.
So how do we what price? First, the question is, what price are we talking about? Is it the factory price, the wholesale price, the retail price? Number two, who determines that price?
Okay. Kinyara? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through Chair, I wanted to answer Honorable Member. The C, the weight in bracket tons of sugarcane, which is erroneously came in the Act. That is the reason we are looking for an amendment. That is the PC average, weighted average PS, weighted average sugar price for a period. That is the reason, sir. We have to follow if the farmers are getting. We cannot change the sugar price per day or per month or per week. It's a weighted average price for that particular period. There is a month or financial year. I hope I answered, sir.
Yeah, because Honorable Batua, number one, you are right, so you're not going to take me back.
No, we are not going back.
Please, first switch off. Okay? We started this meeting at 9. Okay? Now, this meeting, what we have been doing is what the farmers and the mirrors sat and agreed upon. Then for us, we've been handling areas of contention. That's not one area they brought to me.
Right Honorable Speaker, this is the area that collapsed this formula, and the formula could not work.
Just listen to me, because even on the floor, I'm the one who's going to allow you to speak. So you better behave. Okay? Please, there are details in terms of registration you can't go to. There are details which the council, because what we are doing, I have seen, as politicians, if we come in and we try to show we are fighting for this, we are sowing tension between farmers and millers, who already have suspicion among themselves. And what government is doing is simple. Government is saying, go self-regulate. Go self-regulate. You farmers, you millers, go self-regulate. To the extent that it has said, look, let us even give affirmative action to the farmers on the board, on the council, so that you self-regulate. So now, in self-regulation, when you're drafting the law that covers self-regulation, you must leave in room for the body that is going to self-regulate to discuss most of these things, okay? What the mirrors, what the farmers raised was the formula, and the formula on majorly two aspects. Number one, recovery, okay? Whereby in some factories, recovery is at 6%. In others, recovery is at 10. In others, 7. So we've said on recovery, there is a study of World Bank, okay, which did an average recovery percentage, meaning from a ton of sugar, you must of sugarcane, you must recover a minimum of this much. If you, as a mirror, you go and you say you're recovering 7%, one immature sugarcane, immature cane, will give you a raw recovery. Now the task will be on the mirror, because he has a task of recovering a high percentage of 9, he will only accept mature cane. That's number one. If you bring cane, which he looks at and he thinks it's young, he will say, no, 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 I don't even want it here, because I can't recover the minimum which I'm supposed to pay you. You get it? Number two, the factors which came in, but the average of 9 has been agreed. Now, I don't want what we have agreed with the mirrors. We again open a Pandora's box here as members of parliament to disturb. No. The issue we are on, Honorable Batua, please don't take me back. And I tell you, don't take me back. We are on the issue of 55%, okay, which we have proposed, and the grace period. Those are the issues I want us to discuss. Beyond that, the other questions you will ask your mirrors or your outgrowers. How did you agree on this? They will educate you outside this meeting so that I go and do other things.
Yeah. Right, Honorable Speaker.
Please, don't access the microphone without... you see, I have... No, wait a bit, wait. Please.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable, these other mirrors we are trying to be lenient to, they have sister companies. They are selling to molasses and bagasse. So as a farmer, I don't support the idea that we should give them grace period, because those who are not making power, they have sister companies they are selling to. Their sister companies, they are selling to these other byproducts. So the question,
my brother, don't be that mean. Be flexible.
No, this is the truth. This is the truth. Because if we are considering that they're not doing anything with those other byproducts, it is very true.
But how much are they selling?
Like, for example, I went to Kamuli recently, transporting just bagasse from Kamuli to town Ginger. They gave me 500,000 just to transport, and taking only 16 tons just to transport. 500 I was given. So let us not be lenient to them. As far as price is concerned, the grace period should not be given to them because they are earning from them. And if they are not earning from them, let them give us those other things. Secondly, Right Honorable, I forgot when you mentioned that we concluded with the council. We wanted also to request Mr. Dennis that when under functions of the council, we include, Right Honorable, that the council shall have powers to form a committee, including price committee. Let us be clear on that, so that the council has the powers to form those committees, because it is not well explained there. So can we also fix that? So that
Honorable Kamba, do we need that in the law?
Yes, it is necessary.
No, I've not asked you. But you people, how do you conduct your meetings? Is this how you work? No wonder you disagree most of the time. Honorable Kamba.
You see, Chair, the ideas are brilliant, but it makes the users of these laws, the lawyers and the judges, I mean, it looks so shabby to put every detail in an act of parliament. There are issues that are put in regulations, in subsidiary legislation. So, you see, well, that's the procedure.
Yes, and these regulations, Parliament always looks at them. Okay, so you're covered. Yeah. Yes, I had this gentleman here.
I just wanted to say something. I think the farmers should.
You can introduce yourself.
Wilberforce Muviru. I work with the school. The farmers should be somehow appreciative of where we have reached, because Emila is going to fund 85% of the budget. But when he requests for a grace period to organize the business, then you don't want to give grace period. The percentage has gone up, recovery has gone up. But when you say, let us reorganize the business, you say, no, you shouldn't even reorganize, you know. We should have a win-win kind of position, but that's my.
Thank you. We have in an elder. That brown gentleman. Sir, what I would want tap from an elder
is the minimum price you can pay a farmer, not the current price. So please, what we are putting here is the below you can go. Otherwise, what you pay is negotiated from where you are, from other values.
In short, he's telling you that the price you have calculated is lower. They will even get much higher once they negotiate very well. Can we conclude? Yes, sir.
Right, Honorable. Let me add to the Honorable's point. Like,
yes, sir.
Let me add to the Honorable point. See, right, Honorable, everything cannot be negotiated, okay? Because if Ministry of Energy takes 1 year to decide whether we are giving PPA or not, okay? And after PPA, you need to look for finance. That will take another 6 months, 7 months. And the lead time for ordering machinery, like when you order the machinery, it almost takes 2 years to come to Uganda, okay? So what we thought about 3 to 4 years, that is much better.
Can I listen from the co-chair your view, because we've listened more? So 55 is okay? From 50 to 55?
With due respect, Mr. Chair, I still need time, and I request that I can't access some of my members. I'm elected chairman, and I need to talk to them. So I request that we have another day.
On the issue of council board, we have agreed that we take the council forward. So it will be establishment of the council. Honorable Kamba and the Honorable Agre, the council, the issue of the board versus the council, we are legislating to have a council in place. The composition of the council will be 3 farmers,
but who has said this is political.
A delegate cannot delegate. That's a simple principle.
That's why I'm saying through you.
No, it's not allowed. Akamba should be a lawyer nearby.
But right, Honorable Speaker, I think it's very important that the mayors and the farmers know that their leaders are here. Mine was an issue, if you allow, if it pleases you, that some of us who came when we made introductions, we better get on record so that they go. This is political. They'll go back and say, Honorable Brandon was not there. So I would request you that we introduce ourselves
Those
so
who
that-
came late, please introduce
Thank
yourselves.
you. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm Brandon Chintu, a member of Parliament representing the people of Kagoma, and I have here my voters like Chairman Wudugo. So on record, I'm present.
Right Honorable Speaker, Mukisa Stephen.
Wabaddewo issues nga bbiri ku sugar amendment. Speaker twaleeta wano ebbago ne tufunamu contentious issues. Speaker n'agamba tugende tuconsultinze. Katubadde tuconsultinga ne millers ne farmers n'abantu abalala. Naye kati tukkiriza after consultations ku bintu bibiri. Ekisooka kyali bisatu. Ekisooka kyali council overboard. Katugenda mu maaso ne council ate council egenda kubeera ne erimu private sector. Ekyokubiri composition of the council. Baani abagenda ku council. Kati abagenda ku council tujja kubeerako ne chairperson, tubeereko na ba farmers bana, ate tubeereko ne millers basatu, tubeereko na ba permanent secretary basatu, owa finance, owa Minister of Trade Industry, ate nowa agriculture. Ekyokubiri kyali anagenda kusasula council eno. Kati council eno tujja kufuna 85% ezi financing council eno okuva mu millers, ate 15% farmers bajja kubanga basasula. Kubanga farmers be basaba twagala naffe okuteekamu esigo omu composition eno. Ekirala kibadde ku formula, recovery formula, recovery bo crushinga sugarcane, recovery rate ebeera etya. Kati tusinkana nti recovery rate minimum ejja kubeera ku 9%. Ate n'ekirala price minimum twagitadde oku 55%. Ate ne tugamba n'abamillers baagalayo grace period y'emyaka ebiri okugenda okweorganizinga. Kati abamillers ne bagamba tugenda ku consultinga olunaku luno kweri kya grace period kubanga bo babadde baagala 3 years. Kati bakomewo leero ekintu tutwale mu maaso, tulowooza nti esande ejja nga nvudde omu cabinet ku briefing on Monday tujja kubanga tugikomawo mu parliament nga tumaliriza ebbago lino.
Etteeka ery'ebikajjo libadde terisobola kuteekebwa mu nkola naddala nga formula tekola. Era tukkaanyizza ku formula ebaddemu ebintu bibiri ng'omulimi alina eddoboozi ddala ku eryo erya miira bannannyini byuma. Muno mwe mubadde recovery ng'omulimi ayagala ebeere ku 10, miira ayagala ebeere ku 8, tukkaanyizza 9. Kitegeeza nti omulimi awo afunyemu. Ku kya percentage miira ayagadde tukozese percentage ya 40. Era nga atugamba nti World Bank yakola research neraba nga 40 yetuukaana. Omulimi yayagadde 60. Agamba nti miira bingi byajja mu bikajjo, mwe muli waraji, mwe muli buswiti, eriyo n'abajjamu amasannyalaze, abajjamu bagasi, abajjamu ebijimusa. Kati ng'ayagala afunemu kumpi ku biri ebirala, era percentage webeera 60 kiba kimukolera. Tukaanyiza ne tugaana 40 ne tugamba nti kebeere 55. Miira n'akaaba n'agamba nti kyetaaga tumuwemu emyaka ebiri yeetereeze abe nga kimwanguyira okusasula ku 55. So miira ajja tandikira ku 50 mu myaka ebiri automatically etteeka tujja ddikola libeera automatic nga teri kuddamu kutuula ku mmeeza kaaba maziga nti mu myaka ebiri automatically gundi percentage ebeera 55. Awalala omulimi wawangulidde awuye council egenda okusalawo n'okutambuza omulimu ogw'ebikajjo nti omulimi alina eddoboozi lya waggulu ku miira alina ba representatives basatu, omulimi afunye 4. So ebirowoozo ebikolebwa eyo bibanga byakuwanika mikono olabira ddala nti omulimi ajja kuba n'enkizo. So kuno kwe kukaanya kwe tutuuseeko era nga bye twogedde wano bwe tugenda obitwala mu tteeka awatali kukyusaamu, awatali kusikamu oba kujjamu. So tulabira ddala nti etteeka lino omulimi alisitudde lirye era ligenda kugasa omulimi. eno 9% recovery gitwale nga oututani gwamanyiridde ebyakasooli nti bw'oleeta kilo 10 ez'akasooli ojjamu kilo 55 ez'akawunga ne tugamba nti oututani eri 55%. Kakati eno tuligamba 9% nti bw'oleeta ttaani 9 ez'ebikajjo ogenda kujjamu ttaani emu eya sukaali. Kakati ekyo tetujja kubeera na space ow'ekyuma kugamba nti oleese ebikajjo bito tebirimu sukaali amala onyingidde, ekyo tekijja kubaawo kubanga eyo percentage tugifikisinze tegenda kubaawo. Kuleeta bikajjo bito birimu sukaali mutono era ajja kuba alina okufaayo okuba n'ebigimusa byawa omulimi, okuba n'ensigo ey'ekikajjo ennungi gyawa omulimi. So miira buno bwe buvunaanyizibwa obumwolekedde okubanga percentage eyo abanga afunamu, alina okuteekamu ebigimusa, alina okubeera strict asobole okufunamu ku percentage eyo. Naye nga mu byonna tutunuulidde omulimi era yabadde wakati mu mboozi eno gwe tutaddeko ebirowoozo era kyekyo lwaki mu kusika omuguwa buli kye tubaddeko kyewunzikidde ku sayidi ey'omulimi okubanga afuna.
My name, I'm a sugarcane farmer, growing sugarcane in Masindi. I've done that for the last close to 30 years. Yep.
So from this meeting, are you satisfied with the outcome?
I should say generally yes. The chairman was quite effective, and he was able to find solutions amicably and swiftly, because that's what has been failing in the past. Because millers have got their own interests and outgrowers have also their own interests, and the two parties have for long been unable to agree. This time round, there has been kind of a positive approach where both parties seem to be accepting what is on the table. I must say that the outgrowers are not completely satisfied because, you know, in Uganda, the way we look at sugarcane is not the right perspective, because sugarcane is the source of sugar, and sugar is grown by the farmer. Why do I say that? Because sugar is made from sugarcane, and the miller does only the processing. So basically sugar is made in the plantation, not in the mill. It is for that reason that you see in other countries, a farmer is more recognized than the processor, because without the foundation, the processor is meaningless. Some reasons I don't know, but as far as I'm concerned, sugar is made in the plantation and the farmer who is responsible for making the sugar. So it is for him to make sure that he is paid the right amount for his sweat. Here, the farmer, for the last 100 years, since sugarcane was introduced in the country, he has been underpaid. Compare our prices with what other farmers are paid in other countries. We get the lowest in the world. And we are not happy. Even now, what we have achieved in today's meeting is only a drop in the ocean. Our demand should be higher. But for the sake of continuity, we have to allow this. After all, this is a give and take situation. And as you well know that a compromise is a situation where nobody wanted to be. Neither party wanted to be in either position. So, but we have reached a compromise. And reason we are depending on each other. It is a symbiotic relationship. The farmer cannot survive without the miller, and vice versa. But the miller should not continue bullying the farmer. There is still a lot of bullying in the sugar industry. Farmers bully. That's the right word. They bully, the millers bully the farmers, and that is unfair because the farmers have got very, very low noise. They don't have the capacity, and they are more or less incapacitated. They don't have the money. The millers have the money. So basically, that is the situation.
Thank you so much.
Okusookera ddala tetuva kuyisa tteeka naye tuva mu consultation. Ate etteeka eddungi lyeryo erikolerwa mu out of wide consultation. Bw'oba okoze etteeka liteekwa okuba nga terikosa muntu omu ate nga balisanyusa omulala, kubanga wano tulina ebintu bibiri, tulina bisatu, tulina government ne tubeera n'abalimi ne tubeera ne ba investors. These are mirrors. So olwaleero tubadde mu consultation okubeera nti tumaliriza bye tutasobola kukaanya. Jukira nti etteeka lino bwe lyaleeterwa mwalimu obutakkaanya ng'era buleeterwa nga ffe abakiise ba paalamenti tulina okumanya nti abalimi baffe kiki ekibakolera kubanga betukiikirira, but at the same time okubeera nti ne ba investors nabo baweebwa protection kubanga tesobola kubeera n'abalimi ba farmers nga tulina ba mirrors. So kubateeka awamu tulaba nti omuntu waba alimye ebikajjo bye bw'aba agenda okubitunda abiguze oyo gwalaba ng'ate naye takoseddwa. At the end of the day tukomenkereza nga tulina ebintu bye tukanyizaako. First of all mu tteeka ekadde in the old act twalina board naye government yasobola kugiteekamu ssente kubeera nti esobola okukola. Kati olwaleero tukanyiza nti ebeere council instead of the board. Ate mu kubeera ne council ne tubeera nti aba mirrors bakkiriza bafandinge that council n'ebitundu 85 buli ku 100, abalimi nabo babeere ne contribution eya 15%. Initially aba mirrors baali bakkiriza basobole okufandinga council 100%. Naye era ne out of consultation abalimi ne bagamba no tosobola kubeera na muntu nga akuweerera 10 ku 100 bw'obeerako ne demands z'okola zonna agamba nze ateekamu ssente. Ekyokubiri okubeera nti council eno abalimi baffe balina okubeera nga bo be balinako ekitundu ekinene nti out of 7 ba mirrors babeere n'ababaka 3, abalimi babeere n'ababaka 4. Ekyo kikola nti wabeerawo obutakkaanya nga ate bunyigiriza omulimi. Bano olw'okuba balina numbers, I think basobola okuzikozesa even to bargain for better. Yeah. Kale bambi.